Stefanie Mosca. We're here at IT Expo West 2011 in Austin, Texas. And I'm joined today by Ben Bronston, Principal Lawyer of Ben Bronston Telecom Lawyers. How are you today, Ben?
I'm great. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you for being here. So why exactly do telecom companies need lawyers? What services do you provide for your customers?
We provide a variety of different services. I would say the bread and butter type of service that we provide is helping our clients have the best contracts they can have in place with their vendors, with their marketing partners, with their business partners, etc. Other than that, we help clients stay compliant in the ever-changing regulatory world in which they operate. And we also help them with other issues that they may not want to hire somebody in-house to be a full-time in-house general counsel to handle.
Do you also help them to negotiate contracts?
Yes, we spend a lot of time. In fact, if I were to say, give a percentage, I would say most of the time that we spend is helping our clients negotiate contracts as well as draft the contracts that they need to present to other companies.
Okay, great. And I know the company recently put out a 50-state survey. Would you mind elaborating on that a little?
Yes, it's actually pretty exciting for us. It's the first time we've ever done anything like this, but we prepared in response to numerous questions that we've received over the last several years, actually. We did a research project on a 50-state basis to determine what are the laws governing enforceability of auto-renewal clauses. There must be, I must have received 2 to 3 calls a week from agents and from other companies, etc., asking, hey, I've got this customer, but they're locked into an auto-renewal clause. Is this legal? Is this binding, etc.? And I guess it reached the point where I finally decided it was time to do a 50-state research project, so we've done that, and it's available on our website, which is www.telecomlawyer.net.
Okay, great. And when a customer comes to your company, what can they expect from you?
Well, what they can expect from us as opposed to many other firms, honestly, is personal service and responsiveness. We don't attract new customers, new clients, and we don't keep existing clients unless we're very responsive and reasonably priced, frankly. We're based actually in Houston, so and we've got what I would say is a very low overhead sweatshop type of office. So we just basically take in the work and churn it out, and we're not worried about having fancy offices and lavish parties and whatnot. So we're able to operate a lot more inexpensively than our competitors at the big telecom-centric law firms in Washington, D.C. So it's a real advantage for us. That, I would say, that combined with the fact that we are experienced and we know this space extraordinarily well.
And now you mentioned compliance a couple of times. Are there any other trends in terms of telecom and law that you're seeing as prevalent in the market right now?
Well, historically, going back into the 90s when I first started 18 years ago in the telecom space, everything was regulated for the most part. The telecom industry consisted primarily of long-distance resellers, and in order to be a long-distance reseller, you had to not only go to the FCC, but you had to go to each state public utility commission or public service commission to get licensed. On the contrary, almost every new entrant into the telecom space these days seems to be offering unregulated services, so they don't need to jump through the same hoops.
Right.
But there are still things that they need to be concerned about, such as Universal Service Fund, which is a hot button issue for the FCC, State Universal Service Fund, because certain states also have their own version of the federal program, as well as sales and use taxes and things of that nature. So it's critical that if you're going to build a company in today's telecom market the right way, you have to be compliant from the beginning. Otherwise, if you ever hope to sell your company or avoid an audit or things of that nature, you'll be in big trouble.
So the company has been at, this is your 3rd IT Expo.
Yes.
And if I understand correctly, you guys are the only lawyers on the floor.
It's an interesting position to be in.
How does that work for you guys?
I think it works well. Honestly, for the first 17 years that I was in the telecom space, I would attend shows, but I wouldn't exhibit. It was just not our style, so to speak. But when they started the Channel Vision Expo inside of IT Expo, they said, you really ought to think about this because IT Expo is a much bigger show. There's several different shows that are co-located. We really think that you might gain something from it. And you don't have to do it again if you don't want to.
Right.
So we did it last October in Los Angeles at the IT Expo show, and I really enjoyed it. It gives people a chance to come by at their leisure as opposed to having to struggle to find a time to schedule with them.
Exactly.
And it gives people who are just wandering the halls of the show looking for vendors and looking for partners to just come by at their leisure also. So it's worked really well.
Great. Well, we're really glad that we can provide that platform for you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the show, and thank you so much for joining us today, Ben.
Thanks, Stephanie.